Here are the top 5 best SSRs in the game. I will say now, they are not ordered, though some of them are very much better than others. Probably thinking, because you will get annoyed that some of these are not on the list, okay? The way I'm judging these is the same way I judge the tier list for the red characters. I did record a yellow one, but it was over an hour long, so it's going to take a while. But I will be rating how good these units are based on how much value they can give. If they're just a really good damage dealer, it will take a little bit more for them to be in the top 5, right? So it's pretty self-explanatory. Let's get the easiest, most obvious, and most recent out the way. Obviously, Sukuna is one of kind of inarguably the best DPS in the game. Really high survivability, really good skills. There's not really a bad thing about the unit. The only thing you could argue that's bad about it is that he may take a little while to start up, given how his moveset works. Because, you know, you want to build up ult with a skill 1, pop a skill 2 for a few crits, then you want to ult, then spam skill 3. And that entire time, you are buffing yourself, you're giving yourself cursed energy, you know, you're landing crits, which boosts yourself even more. He's an absolute demon, and we all know this. I mean, I did a video just on him, so I'll keep it nice, short, and sweet. And I tend to ramble a lot in these videos, so I'll shorten it down a bit. He's the GOAT, he can heal himself constantly, he can increase his crit rate and crit damage constantly, and he can also do ridiculous damage over time, which stacks with itself, depending on how many stacks you have. 20% extra damage per stack, which is absolutely devious. He is the king of curses. There is a reason he's super cracked. Next unit, as I say, these aren't ordered. Granted, these won't change for a while, because as far as I've seen with units that are coming out of JP, there won't be any changes to this top 5 for a very long time. But anyway, next unit that's up there, Team Gojo, Yellow Gojo, whatever you want to call him. I also did a video about him a while back, and my opinions on him are relatively the same. The fact that he has the Limitless from the start, pretty strong. He can reapply the Limitless. His buff stacks a bunch. He can massively increase his damage, massively increase his crit rate. His skill 1 has a chance of provocation, which, whilst it only being a chance isn't ideal, it can proc relatively well. It will proc a relatively decent amount, and it also gives extra ult charge. His skill 3 is also really good, decreasing damage by a significant margin. Whilst he is a Gojo, he can't Black Flash. However, just like Sukuna, when he crits, he increases his stats, which yet again is really, really strong, and he can just do that. And all his moves have a really high crit chance, so this unit is absolutely insane. We all know this. I don't need to tell you. Like, he is the only Gojo on global at the moment that just stays on the field, and he is a Gojo. That's insane, right? Every other Gojo is inarguably a really strong unit, but they have to leave after a certain amount of time, and that is always that Gojo's biggest weakness, like Hollow Purple Gojo leaving after ult, Blue Gojo leaving after 7 turns. Those are really big weaknesses. This Team Gojo does relatively similar or more damage than those, but still stays on the field. Like, it's absolutely insane. I don't need to tell you how busted he is. And one thing I rate very highly with units is the Limitless, right? Any unit that can make itself completely invulnerable is disgusting. Right? Say, for example, Gojo gets hit instead of any of your other units. That's amazing, because if he has the Limitless active, that is literally a wasted turn for the enemy, which is always great. That's always fantastic. Top 5 unit, he's disgusting. Now, after Tinjo, let's keep it in the yellow category. Deumi, right? We're going to keep the Deumi agenda high. He is disgusting. We all know it. He's filthy. Not only is his damage surprisingly high with his ult, the damage with the rest of his kit is kind of whatever, but his ult damage is good. His base, skill 3 before ult, doing physical damage, ties well with a lot of other yellow units who want a Black Flash, like Black Flash Nanami and Zongji, which is really nice. But his ult is obviously the big thing here. Not only can he triple the amount of damage your teams do to an enemy with his skill 1 during domain, which is like the most innocuous, simple looking animation, but it has like the most stupid and busted effect, which I find very funny. He's also invincible throughout the entire course of his ult, which is also stupid. And for whatever reason, if you really need to, you can also stun the enemy. Say, for example, if they're going to pop their ultimate and do a bunch of damage and maybe kill your team, just stun them. Like, he is a really, 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 really strong unit. And as I say, his ult can do really good damage as well. While, yes, it does take a little while to get his domain active, once you do, the amount of damage you can do is absolutely disgusting. I don't need to tell you, he is one of the best supports in the game. However, there is someone who does it a little bit better, right? And we all know who it is. Domain Gojo, another top 5 unit. He's an absolute filthy unit. So, as I said before, Degumi's damage is decent with his ult, and the debuffs are insane. But Domain Gojo, his damage is it's like the best support damage in the game. He will do more damage than mostly any other support, because he's Gojo. And on top of that, the damage boost given from him popping his ult is also filthy. But not on top of that, it also stuns the enemy for a bunch of turns. He can also Black Flash, His skill 1 post-domain decreases crit resistance. His skill 2 is an AoE that decreases attack, which is also really nice. His skill 3 increases his curse technique, really nice. Hollow Purple and Blue Gojo will leave after 7 turns. He leaves after 9, 2 extra turns. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that can let you get another ult in, right? But on top of that, when he pops ult, he gets another turn. The timer pauses for a turn. So you can, he can stay on for about 11 turns, on if not 12, if you really optimize him landing ults, which is great. And the damage he's doing the entire time, and your entire team's damage skyrockets as well with just him being on the team. And also, since he's a Gojo, he's immortal. He's not going to die, right? Oh, he doesn't have limitless after he pops them in. Yeah, but he also has 50k health. This dude isn't going to die, and he's absolutely cracked, right? I don't need to tell you how busted he is. You already know, right? I said in my tier list, he's disgusting. He's the best supporter, bar none, in this game, right? But anyway, who is also the final top 5? Now, this one will be the most contentious, so I'll do a couple honourable mentions first, right? First honourable mention, I mentioned him briefly a second ago, Zongji, right? This is the most controversial one, right? I think Zongji is top 5 DPS, right? Obviously, probably top 3. His DPS is disgusting, but the thing is with Zongji, he requires that you build the team around him in a very specific way, because you need Deumi or Domain Gojo and Yuki. He needs rare Yuki on his team, or he can't function. With Tinjo, Sukuna, Deumi, and Domain Gojo, you can kind of still play with them in whatever way you want, right? You can still have Sukuna with any debuffer and any buffer, and he will do more damage. If Zongji doesn't have Yuki, he is significantly nerfed, because he eats cursed energy like a dog with cheddar cheese. He just inhales cursed energy. It's not even funny. Because you want him to spam his skill 2s and skill 3s when he has his 2 skills per turn active post-ult. And if he can't do that, and you're just landing his normal skill 1 during, when he's in the zone, it's kind of meh, right? His damage plummets. He needs cursed energy, but without Yuki to subsidize that, he's kind of screwed. But as I do say, he is one of the best DPSs in the game. That's why he is still an honorable mention, okay? But yeah, another honorable mention, of course, Togi. Togi is another really good DPS. He also has really good survivability. He has a chance to dodge. He heals himself every turn. He does more damage with each crit. It's just that the last top 5 I have on this list does similar damage, but also provides more value to the rest of his team. Whilst Togi is, just like he is in the show and the manga, very much kind of like Sukuna, a survival unit. He doesn't need much support on his own, but he won't do much for the team. You build the team around him. So he's physical damage only. He can go through damage negation with the Soul Splitter. He can remove buffs with the ISOH, with his ult and his skill 3, which is really nice. His skill 1 crits it's nobody's business. He's a really strong unit. It's just, he doesn't do as much damage as Zongji, but he does keep himself alive a little bit more, which is very useful. So I put them in a similar category, but Zongji does a good chunk more damage. It's just Togi will not die nowhere near as often as Zongji would, right? But anyway, and the final honorable mention I'd love to mention is adult Ghetto. I think while he is rated highly, I still think he slept on a little bit. He is absolutely filthy, right? The debuffs he gives, not just damage taken increases, but reducing damage. His AoE also decreasing damage. His skill 1 also buffing him. And his ult, whilst a lot of the times his ult is very underwhelming, I'll be completely honest. Yeah, it's like Yaga or Nanami, SR Nanami. It's that's not the reason you're using him. You're using them for their skill 2. Globally, right, all of their skill 2s are absolutely cracked, but especially with adult Ghetto, his skill 2, when you have cursed energy, you have a memory, or you have rare Yuki or whatever, as long as he's spamming his skill 2, he is absolutely disgusting, right? The damage increase taken and the damage decrease is absolutely filthy unit. He's really good, really strong. Top 3, top 5 supporters in the game, but he does require a lot of cursed energy, just like Zongji, so that takes it down just a little bit. But the final top 5 unit I wanted to say is we got to keep the Yuta agenda up, right? I don't mind his character in the series, but in this game he is cracked. I will say that. Now, the reason he's here instead of Togi, a red damage dealer or whatever, he just does that little bit more. And I said so in my red tier list. The ability to heal your entire team, granted it doesn't heal him, but the rest of your team by 25%, so that being buffers, debuffers, whatever, is huge. The survivability goes up. He can also counterattack. He can also black flash. His ult having the same percentage as Hollow Purple, disgusting, right? You can get him to probably do more damage than Togi, right? Pretty consistently. But they do pretty similar damage overall. But on top of that, like, let's say they both do exactly the same amount of damage, Yuta will give me more value than Togi does. Because Yuta will be healing my team, he will be doing counterattacks, he will, like, do an AoE that debuffs the enemy. Like, Yuta just does that much more. I've talked about him at length in the red tier list. He's absolutely disgusting. As I say, I'm not the biggest fan of Yuta in the series, but in this, he is just, the debuff that he got from the update on his skill 2 is huge. His skill 3 black flashing is great. His ult damage is phenomenal. And his survivability improvements to the team via his healing, disgusting. RCT is mwah, right? He's great. And you might have noticed as well, I noticed as I was making this top 5, there's not really any green units on there. While people might argue that, why isn't Ultimate Mechamaru here? He literally just launched, and I'm going to have to pity that dude, so he's not on the list, okay? That's literally why I don't have him yet. Maybe he's a top 5 unit, maybe he is, maybe he isn't, I don't know. Those were my top 5 SSRs in the game. As I say, I have recorded a yellow tier list, but the record was really long, so I don't know when that'll be out. But I think for my next video in the background, I'll do a top 5 worst SSRs, because that's a lot more contentious and a lot more arguable. So that might be fun to look at the comments for. But as I say, those were my top 5 best SSRs in the game. Let me know what you thought about it below. And Jujutsu my dudes, hope you see you in the next one. Peace.